The billboard's pretty good, huh? A couple of all-stars whose names may not be at the top of the list, but they are when you talk to teammates, Sean Kimmerling.
Well, in this media circus known as the Subway Series, there are two players that are going to get most of the press, Mike Piazza and Derek Jeter. They're the headline makers, but there's also a couple of players who get the job done just as effectively, but you almost hear nothing about them. And both of them had big home runs in the last edition of the Subway Series. For the Yanks, how about Jorge Posada, this monstrous upper deck shot that helped the Yanks to the win in Game 2 of the Subway Series. And in Game 1, it was the Mets second baseman, Edgardo Alfonzo, the big homer off the rocket, Roger Clemens. It chased Clemens and helped the Mets to the win. Now, if you look at the numbers for these guys, it's pretty impressive, both hitting well over 300.
It's not going to get any better than this. Two New York teams.
Well, I'm a very strong fan of interleague play. I don't think it detracts from playoffs or the World Series. I think that in situations like this with the Mets against the Yankees, you can't get it any better.
Ralph, would you have enjoyed playing in interleague play when you were playing? Would it have made a difference to you?
I don't know about a difference, but I think it would be a tremendous thrill to see the other league. Of course, you never saw them unless you played in the World Series. There were no playoff games then, and I think it would be inviting. You can't beat the electricity that's in the air when you have a crowd like we have here tonight and have had with this series. It's not like the Mayor's Trophy game where you played an exhibition game. This one counts.
And I never saw the inside of Fenway Park until about my 17th year in the big leagues. Never saw the inside of it, and it was a huge thrill. I would have loved it.
Love to have pitched there.
Oh,
in a
absolutely.
Game that counted.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a bigger thrill in baseball than playing in Yankee Stadium. You think of Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, and you walk in there and take a look at those monuments. It's something else.
Al Leiter, New York Mets, New York Yankees. Game 3 of interleague play between them is underway. Pitch is taken outside for a ball by Chuck Knobloch. A lot of hit streaks in effect coming into this game for the New York Yankees, and Knobloch has one of them. A 7-game hit streak for Knobloch. Leiter catches the outside corner. Well, Knobloch may continue to go through some of the problems of throwing the ball at second base. At the plate, Chuck Knobloch continues to give them what they got him for, offense. 1-1, and outside 2-1 from Leiter. Knobloch has hit only .215 off left-handers this year, a very low number, especially when you consider the .326 average against right-handers. A very distinct difference versus southpaws this year. He'll draw walks, and he's ahead 3-1. Jeter on deck. Bobby Valentine's team, 42 and 35, a game and a half behind Atlanta. And he drew the leadoff walk from Leiter.
One of the keys for Al Leiter is control, and it is much emotional control as it is physical control, and he has done a great job this year of the emotional control. But it's this kind of game, this big game, he's such an emotional, energy-packed individual, and if he gets real jumpy on the mound, he can be wild high and he can be wild way inside. Now to Knobloch, he pitched away, and then got the ball up.
And you can look for the Yankees to be running in this game.
There he goes. They may get him. Tag put on by Mora. It'll be a caught stealing, but it was Leiter who got him. Knobloch was running. He's got had nine stolen bases and still does.
Well, we've talked about it so many times, Gary, and one of my beliefs is that you do not give an opposing pitcher the first out, and this is what Torre and the Yankees have done. Great move by Leiter. When you're wild at that first, you got to watch what's going on in the ballgame, to me. And Leiter did not have control, did not have things in sync, and all of a sudden he's got one out, and he's thrown 6 pitches, and only 2 of them have been strikes. Only one of them's been striked.
What an advantage for Leiter, and Jeter fouls it off. I mean, that just turns the complexion of the whole game around on the very first hitter.
You want to play aggressive, but you've got to look at the emotional aspect of this game and make that pitcher get his own first out.
Jeter's got a modest 3-game hit streak coming into the series, and Leiter goes ahead on the count 1-2.
A tremendous advantage of having a runner on when your first batter walks, and then it was given back.
Third All-Star appearance will be coming up in Atlanta next week for Derek Jeter, selected by Joe Torre. 1-2 delivery by Leiter is foul back. Holds the count at a ball and 2 strikes. But Ralph, you're absolutely right. Knobloch may have been picked off there, but the Yankees, if they get people on, are going to run.
Yankees are a running club. They have 60 stolen bases, been caught 23 times, now 24. They're third in the American League. Joe Torre plays a National League type game, even though he has a DH.
Jeter, did he go? Check at first. No. Dana DeMuth at first.
That was a good break for Jeter right there. He really got started. Did he stop? The umpire said yes.
He has struck out 41 times, drawing 21 walks. .324 batting average. And the 2-2 is fouled off. Tom and I were looking at another number before the game. Tom noted it first. The RBIs, Tom, for Derek Jeter. I was aghast.
It's a number that just jumped off the page to me. You know, Jeter has got 36 RBIs, and you say, what, 36? Can't be.
9 home runs.
Yeah, 9 home runs, 36 RBIs. What's going on? Well, he struggled early and then got hurt. I mean, he got his slump out of the way early in the season, and since coming back from his injury, they said he's been real hot.
Bell's got to go in a hurry to get this one and won't get there. Base hit for Jeter. A 4-game hit streak, and the first 2 base runners have reached base. But there's one down.
Well, Jeter hit a good pitch. He hit it off the handle of the bat. And he comes up with a base hit. Tough start right now. 2 up and 2 on, but the pickoff a big part of this inning so far.
Willie Randolph going through the signs. Derek Jeter also has speed on the base paths. 16 stolen bases, leads the Yankees. He's been caught only once. Paul O'Neil with a 5-game hit streak, as Zeal will hold the bag. Coming off, Jeter will have to get the lead behind him. O'Neil, as we said, with a 5-game streak coming in. Had a home run, 2 for 5 in the last game for the Yankees, who have won their last 2. They come off a win over Baltimore yesterday. The Mets had the day off. Maybe one of the most, I think, still underrated players in the game. This is a .290 career hitter, 37 years old, a professional's professional.
A Tommy Henrich type player.
That's a compliment.
He's the kind of player you call gamer in the clubhouse. He's a gamer, foxhole guy.
Amazingly, he didn't play against left-hand pitching. This year against left-hand pitching, he's hit .357.
Deep in the batter's box. Runner not going. O'Neil takes it outside. Ball 2, 2-0 on Paul O'Neil. 3 batters, 3 first pitches out of the strike zone by Leiter. Could the excitement of the moment get to even a veteran like Al Leiter?
Oh, absolutely.
He's emotional.
Oh,
no question about it.
That's one, you know, it's his biggest strength and maybe his biggest weakness.
2-0 delivery. O'Neil takes it. It's on the outside corner. And he looks back at the home plate umpire, Mark Carlson, on the call.
And the 2-ball, 1-strike count is a hit-and-run count. I don't know why they call it hit-and-run. It's actually the runner runs and you try and hit the ball.
They reversed it somewhere along the way. Jeter with a good lead, not going. O'Neil takes it away, and it's 3-1, and Leiter struggling to get ahead of these Yankee hitters.
Leiter against the Yankees while pitching as a Met pitcher is 3-1. 3 wins and 1 loss.
Bobby Valentine a little concerned about the start here. You were mentioning, Ralph, the numbers that O'Neil has put up against left-handers. He had the lowest batting average of anyone in the American League last year against left-handers. He hit 190. How do you make that kind of a turnaround?
It's amazing, but of course it's short term, and but he has never really been a player against left-hand pitching.
And he really doesn't like the call. That's two he has questioned Mark Carlson on. Leiter getting the outside corner, 3-2.
It's more a question of Paul O'Neil saying, I don't want to have to protect against that pitch. If I go out there, then I'm really going to be vulnerable inside.
3-2. Let's see whether or not Jeter takes off here with one away. Jeter at first base. Zeal continues in front of him. Jeter goes. O'Neil. Oh, under the glove of Ventura on his way to third. Ventura gets back to the bag. Throw will go to second. Jeter makes a turn. Mora looks him back. First and third, O'Neil with a 3-2 single the other way. Just another instance of a piece of professional hitting by O'Neil.
Everything about that swing was bad. The result was great. Watch him pull off the ball. Just kind of slaps at it, finds a hole, gets a base hit.
One of those guys who seems to always find a way.
After he was traded to the Yankees from the Cincinnati Reds, I ran into Robin Roberts, the great Hall of Fame pitcher, and he says, wait till you see this guy O'Neil in New York. To back up what you were talking about, Gary, about being a pro's pro, a real foxhole guy, he said this guy is a real gamer.
A lot of years with Cincinnati. Leiter in a jam, first inning. One down. First and third, Bernie Williams. And he went around. Strike one. Williams has a 16-game hit streak going, and it is not one of those where you get a hit a game. He's had 12 multi-hit games during the 16-game streak. 15 hits in his last 27 at-bats. He was voted one of the starters for the All-Star game. Fourth time he'll make an appearance at an All-Star event. Laid on it, 2-strike count.
Laid on it, it looks like he's swung at two bad pitches, both of them up and out of the strike zone. The first one definitely was too high, and he's got that half a check swing, and that ball looked like it was up above the top of the strike zone as well.
He's hitting .357 with runners in scoring position this year. A clutch hitter. 79 RBIs. The 0-2, and he's got one, a base hit to right. Bell's going to play it on the hop. Jeter scores. 1-0 Yankees. Listen to this crowd. We're at Shea Stadium. A 17-game hit streak for Bernie Williams.
Good job of hitting right here. He just tries to meet the ball, hits the ball on the good part of the bat on the line to right field. And a run for the Yankees. Again, the high fastball. That one down a little bit in the strike zone.
And not a very good 0-2 pitch. Swinging at those other two that were really up in the strike zone, and that one, I don't think Al Leiter wanted that pitch there. What would happen if they hadn't gotten that first out in the stealing? Where would we be right now?
First four batters have reached first base in this game, but the big pickoff helped the Mets to get the first out.
Williams with 80 RBIs now. Swung on and missed by Jorge Posada. Bernie Williams second in RBIs. Only Edgar Martinez has more, and he's on first. Runners at first and second. And Posada picked as the backup catcher. Pudge Rodriguez will be the starter in the American League. Joe Torre will manage the All-Stars, of course, in the American League. In the game in Atlanta on Tuesday, picking Posada to work behind the plate as the backup catcher. Leiter with the 0-1 delivery. And fouled off. The chopper makes it 0-2. Young catcher Yankees have brought along slowly. He's not so young anymore, actually. 28. Posada had time to develop with a lot of starters in front of him. Took a while for him to be ready to be the Yankee catcher. 0-2 delivery in the dirt, stopped by Mike Piazza. Bear in mind, O'Neil at second base, not particularly fleet of foot if there should be another base hit here to the outfield. Wind is blowing kind of towards right field and almost a little in right now. O'Neil at second, Williams at first. It is just a magnificent evening. Unseasonably comfortable. No humidity. 1-2, runner goes to third. That's going to be a base hit into left field. O'Neil was running. Oh my, what was that? A 2-0 lead. Paul O'Neil took off. Williams did not.
I think one of the runners got the sign and the other one did not. Bernie Williams did not move at first base. Paul O'Neil going with the pitch. And a gutsy call by Joe Torre to put on a hit and run with 2 men on. Bernie Williams did not get the sign.
Well, the ball hit hard, and of course, again, we mentioned the fact that the first 5 batters now have gotten on base. He has not had an out by a defensive player, just to pick off.
Paul O'Neil easily in. Posada, the base hit and the RBI. Jorge Posada, 41 ribbies. Tino Martinez, first and second, 4 hits for the Yankees. And a strike taken. And still no out at the plate.
Excuse me, Gary. This is the kind of situation to me that somebody's got to go out there to Al Leiter. Somebody's got to say to him, somebody on the field, a Piazza, Ventura, Zeal, somebody, said, listen, you know, Jeter got a little flare to right field. O'Neil got a little bouncer in the hole. You're still making good pitches. Get out of this inning with just the 2 runs. Get the double play ball.
Hit in the air to left field. Williams going back. The wind taking that ball to the warning track. Agbayani hauls it in. Both runners were at second base. Nothing wrong with that in that case, because Williams had gone back to tag and Jorge Posada had gone all the way down in case it fell in. Williams did not go to third, however, and there are 2 down. Martinez retired.
If there has been one knock about Bertie Williams, is that it is his base running sense on the field. Both runners at second base. The left fielder, Benny Agbayani, was going away from the infield. Now, Williams has excellent speed, and he would have made third base easily had he gone. He got in the right position and then got tentative.
2 down. Shane Spencer jammed and fouls it off for a strike. So Leiter trying to get out of this with no further damage. Williams and Jorge Posada remain on, but there are 2 away. Spencer's got a 3-game hit streak coming into this, but has not played in the last 2. Bruised right knee in Tuesday's loss at Baltimore kept him out. 5 hits in his last 12 at bats. The 0-1. Well, clearly Joe Torre is going to play this with some great drive. When you send Paul O'Neil, the batter's got a 2-strike count at O'Neil's at second base, and there's only 1 down in the inning. You're going at it from the get-go. 1-1 up high, 2-1. First inning. The first inning run in 16 starts, 2 tonight. 2-1 delivery, and that one drilled but foul. Man, not a good start for Leiter.
Well, he took something off that pitch, and the batter did what he wanted him to do, pull a foul. I never get excited about hard foul balls. Actually, the batter is usually fooled when he hits a ball hard and foul.
2-ball, 2-strike count, 2 down. Cutter inside, 3-2. Yankees jumping out to a 2-0 lead. The 2 games these teams played at Yankee Stadium were not barn burners. Couple of blowout affairs, 1 each way. 3-2, runners go. Strike him out. Leiter gets the strikeout, but the Yankees will come up with 2 runs on 4 hits. 2 are left on base. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Mets when we come back. And welcome back, everybody. Shea Stadium and lots of baseball fans. They're cheering for New York, one way or the other. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by Delta for the New York Mets. Melvin Mora leads it off at short. Bell will be in right field. Alfonso at second base. Mike Piazza batting cleanup. Todd Zeile at first. Robin Ventura at third. Jay Payton at center. Benny Agbayani in left field, and Al Leiter hitting ninth. El Duque Orlando Hernandez making the start. Right-hander for the Yankees.
And behind Hernandez, the Tri-State Ford defense. For him in the outfield, Shane Spencer in left, Bernie Williams in center, and Paul O'Neil in right. Around the infield, Scott Brosius at third, Jeter at short, Chuck Knobloch at second base, Tino Martinez at first, and behind the plate, Jorge Posada. On the mound, Orlando Hernandez. 7-6 with a 4.47 earned run average, making his 16th start for the Yanks.
He is a old-fashioned type pitcher with a lot of motion and throws from all angles. He throws a lot of breaking pitches and a lot of side-down pitches. You really have to stay back and make sure you get a good look at the ball.
El Duque. Predominant fly ball pitcher. And he starts Mora with a strike. Mel Mora leading it off for the Mets. Went 1 for 3 in the first matchup between these two teams in the 2 games played at Yankee Stadium. 0-1 to Mora. Misses inside, 1-1. Mora with Ray Ordonez out for the rest of the year. And now with Kurt Abbott hurting, getting a lot of playing time. 25 starts now at shortstop. 1-1 delivery by El Duque, and he looked bunt, and it's taken outside. 2-1.
And you can tell teams have been scouting. The Yankees have been scouting the New York Mets. Scott Brosius is way up even with a bag. Melvin Mora, at the time that he took over, started playing shortstop on a regular basis, has about 4 or 5 drag bunt base hits.
And Orlando Hernandez misses outside. 3-1. Hernandez started and won against Tampa Bay 6-1, a run on 4 hits and 5 2/3 in his last outing. And Bell waiting on deck. Mel Mora in the air, center field. Bernie Williams. 1 down.
The right fielder, number 16.
I think that wind is lying to us tonight. The balls that have been hit up in the air to center and left look as though they're carrying a little bit.
The ball that Agbayani caught carried very well to left field, hit by Martinez, and there that ball carried well to center field.
Derek Bell. They talk about coming to the Subway Series by train. Derek Bell comes to the Subway Series by boat. He lives on a boat over on the West Side Highway, off the West Side Highway in the Hudson. He found that he can get up here to where the ferry goes in from the airport to downtown, so he comes to the ballpark now with his boat. He drives it up, has a mooring over there, gets a ride over to the ballpark, and goes back to the boat and takes it back down to the West Side Highway. Mooring dog. That's how he comes to the Subway Series. I like that.
Bye, honey. I've got to go to work. Are you going to use the boat this afternoon?
1-1 off the end of the bat. May have broken it. Spencer. Bell's retired.
Derek Bell had a good swing on that pitch, but got out in front. Yes, they've been swinging a hot bat lately. One of the things about Hernandez is that he can change speeds, as Ralph said before. He can change speeds and get you out in front just a fraction. Yes, indeed, he did break that bat. And for Hernandez to be successful, control is the issue. and he gets control, starts hitting the corners and moving the ball in and out, he can be very tough. He's not going to overpower you. This is not a right-handed pitcher that's going to blow you away and get a lot of strikeouts.
Right-hander's breaking ball. He floated that one in.
You don't see that pitch very often, Ralph, do you? That old slow curveball. That's an old-timer pitch.
That's an old slow curveball. He changes speeds exceptionally well.
Comes back with a heater up high, 1-1.
That big slow curveball on first pitch is a great pitch. Every hitter goes up there looking fastball on that first pitch, and it's almost like a free strike. And especially if you're right-handed throwing to left-hand hitters. They hate that pitch first strike.
There's an outside corner heater.
That's a beauty right there. Now he's in the big slow curveball first strike, and he dropped down. Ralph was talking about that earlier. Dropped down, threw that from the side. And the ball, great movement right at the hitting zone, came back to the outside corner.
1-2 delivery, and he got him. Alfonso goes down swinging. A very strong inning for El Duque. Hernandez sets the Mets down 1-2-3. We've completed one. Subway Series is underway. The broadcast is presented by the authority of the New York Mets and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Mets. With Tom Seaver and Ralph Kiner, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Interleague play is underway again. The White Sox beat the Cubs today at Wrigley 4-2. And Atlanta's got a 2-0 lead over Boston at Fenway in the second inning. Some of the interleague games that we'll be keeping an eye on for you tonight. Mets are a game and a half behind Atlanta. New York just a half game behind in the East. Toronto's got a 2-0 lead over Montreal in the third in that American League Eastern Division race. 7 batters came to the plate against Leiter in the first inning. Brocious, Hernandez. Kick it off here, and Brocious takes a strike in the outside corner.
And Al Leiter throws a lot of pitches anyway, Gary. He threw 33 pitches in that first inning, and that is a bunch. That is a boatload of pitches. You consider your pitcher, maybe he's got 125 to 135 pitches max for the game. You know, so now Al Leiter, 2 pitches here, is already at 35.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery by Leiter, and Brocious chops it foul. This may be the coolest July 7 evening of baseball I can remember in New York. It's almost like fall. It's just beautiful. That hot, humid weather that we usually have this time of year. 1-2 delivered to Brocious. .33 years old and a .257 career major league hitter. Brocious with a 1-2 count, and he got him. So Leiter comes back and gets a strikeout, his second. 2 in a row in the K department for Al Leiter.
Leiter has been throwing more changeups of late and is getting more confidence in the off-speed pitch.
Orlando Hernandez gets the opportunity at the plate. He has had only 6 at-bats, obviously, with the interleague play. 0 for 6. Leiter comes right at him, and El Duque fouls it off. 2-strike count. Orlando Hernandez is 1-0 lifetime against the New York Mets. He made the start against New York that got a victory last year at Yankee Stadium, 6-3 up high.
No balls and 2 strikes, and now Leiter tried to throw that ball 150 miles an hour.
And the thing about Hernandez, the batter, he was taking the pitch no matter what.
Came back and got him. 3 strikeouts all in a consecutively for Leiter.
Al went out there to warm up for this inning. to start the top of the second inning. And through his third warm-up pitch, and he was shaking his head. So something he doesn't like. There's some pitch in there that he does not like the delivery on. And that 0-2 pitch that he did throw, he tried to throw that ball right through a brick wall. And when you do that, boy, your mechanics just fly all over the place. You lose control, you lose velocity.
And now he's getting first pitch strikes. He's reversed the first inning.
One of the keys is for Al Leiter is to throw strikes on that outside part of the plate. Talked a little bit earlier about how he throws that cutter inside the right-hand hitters. And if he opens up his front side too much, that cutter gets real big and he starts missing inside. When he throws that ball on the outside part of the plate to a right-handed hitter, it makes him keep his front side closed. And it makes that cutter, like Ralph was talking about, it's a real slider in the sense that it's real short and real quick.
Off the fist to short. Mora gets the angle and the out. So Leiter comes back and retires the side in order. He threw 7 first pitch strikes. So Leiter settles back down. El Duque retire the first 3 Mets he faced. Piazza, Ventura, and Zeal coming up. Piazza, of course, heading to the All-Star game. Alfonso Piazza, Leiter for the Mets. 4th in average, 3rd in RBIs, and 5th in home runs in the National League. Breaking ball. Had him fooled, but he missed inside. 1-0.
You always want to watch the reaction of Mike Piazza on the first pitch of the ball game to him. So many times he'll sit there and take that first pitch, and he was going to swing at that pitch, and he was looking fastball.
Chopper to short. Jeter plays a high hop on the outfield grass. Good stretch made by Martinez. Piazza retired.
Jeter playing that ball the only way he could. It had that big overspin on the ball, taking a very high hop. He had to stay back and then gun the ball to first base.
Robin Ventura. 1 down, nobody on. And Ventura takes the floater strike in the outside corner. There's that pitch again.
Slap drop.
Followed up with a fastball, and like that, it's a 2-strike count.
Robin saying, I can't hit either one of those. You throw the slow stuff on the outside corner, you throw the hard stuff in here on the inside corner, and it looked like a pretty big strike zone. The pitcher has established, yeah, I can throw a strike on both sides. Robin didn't like either one of them.
I asked Robin before the game, how's your shoulder? And he said, it hurts. He had cartilage taken out of his right shoulder in December, and he said, it's never been as strong again. I've worked on it, rehabbed it. It bothers me throwing, and it bothers me at the plate.
Got to bother him at the plate. He's not can't hit 242.
No. He said, I'm going to have to take some days off in the second half of the season if it continues to hurt the way it hurts now. Because he's playing in pain, and it is clearly affecting his ability at the plate, and sometimes you notice it in the field on long throws. It's that right shoulder. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery to him. Gets by Jorge Posada. 3-2.
Well, Robin missed all that time in spring training. Look at Todd Zeal in the on-deck circle. He missed the time in spring training other than he was on his own program on a day-to-day basis, is just getting there. He could hit and everything. But from a throwing standpoint, they did not want to bother that shoulder.
Got that one to center field. Williams started in, misplayed it badly. All the way to the wall. Robin Ventura has a stand-up double as Bernie Williams took 2 steps in and realized he had made a big mistake.
Well, the Mets had a player named Rod Keneal that played for the Mets in the early days, and he was noted for charging in and then charging back. And that's exactly what happened to Bernie Williams as he misplayed the line drive.
This is a 3-time Gold Glover in center, but Todd Zeile. And the breaking ball is outside, ball 1.
Do you think he'd be the Gold Glover of the National League with Andrew Jones?
No.
You and I are on the same page on that one.
There are a lot of, and I don't mean this to be, saying nasty things to Bernie Williams, who's a hell of a player, but him winning the Gold Glove doesn't fit. He is not a Gold Glove center fielder. Good, probably a little above average, but that's it. Not Gold Glove. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Zeile.
Well, Gold Glove means the best.
The best. Chop foul. It's so hard to make determinations on Gold Glove players if you don't see them play every day. It's one of the difficult things for the writers when they vote Gold Glove players. They have to listen to writers from other cities because you just don't see enough of the players unless you're there every day to watch.
When I was a player, I had writers come to me and ask me who I thought were the Gold Glove players. And they try to get as much information as they can.
2 ball, 2 strike count on Zeile.
In defense of Bernie, in the sense the most difficult play is that line drive right at you. A different ballpark. And at dusk, the light's not fully in effect here. The other aspect of that, every fly ball that's been hit in the outfield has been hit off the end of the bat, and they've been little soft fly balls.
Breaking ball, and it goes 3-2 on Zeile. 1 down, runner at second. Yankees have a 2-0 lead. Bottom half of the second inning. Zeile has been one of the Mets' fine clutch hitters. .329 with runners in scoring position this year for the Mets first baseman. Chance for 2. No. Right at Brocious. Zeile retired.
Well, that's really a tale of 2 different ball clubs and who gets the break and who does not. Now, Todd Zeile hit that ball right on the button, but right at Brocious at third base. And remember back in the first inning, and Paul O'Neil on a 3-2 pitch stuck his rear end in the Met dugout and his bat over there toward the third baseline and just got it by Ventura. And Zeile hit his ball about 3 times as hard as O'Neil hit his, but that's you get back to the dugout and you say, hang with them.
Well, there was a player named Willie Keeler that said, hit them where they ain't.
Always a good recommendation. Jay Payton, 2 down. Ventura remains at second base. Fooled badly. Strike 1.
Against a pitcher like Hernandez, you're not going to see many fastballs that are in the hitting zone that a player wants. You're going to see a lot of breaking pitches, a lot of motion, a lot of change of speeds.
And your point well taken, Ralph. The 3-2 pitch to Zeile. They had to throw a fastball, or at least he did, and it was hit right on the button.
Payton jammed, popped it up, no play. No, there is a play. And he got it. Jorge Posada came back. Ball stayed out there for him, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, a base runner left on at second base to complete Yankees and Mets. A long time.
Yes, good to see you, Tom.
Thought you were going to leave me out of this, Sal. What am I, chopped liver over here?
He knew I was asking the first question, so he thought he'd just look over here first.
I've only known Sal for what? 30 some odd years? 30. About 30 years, yeah.
Yeah, more than 30.
Jeter, 1 pitch, 1 out. Now you're telling me, talking about a Subway Series, you had it even better than this growing up.
Yeah, I grew up in Brooklyn, and I was a teenager in the 50s, so I went to a lot of Dodger Giant games and a lot of Yankee games, and the Subway Series in the fall was expected every year. Of course, in '55, our team won the championship, Brooklyn.
Our team.
Our team.
That's right. The only team.
The only team in town.
And who do we pull for these days? Are we a fan of any one team, or?
Yes, I root for my weekly paycheck.
Hey, we're all together on that page.
And you win every week.
That's right. Well, Uncle Sam does, really.
Paul O'Neil with one down in a hurry. Now you're going to be staying after the game tonight, right? To cover this afterwards here?
No,
on the news?
actually, I'm going back to the studio.
We're going to do it there.
Yeah, it's air conditioned. It's easier to
Good
do.
man.
You were going to be here all night.
You're going to leave Sean here to do the reporting from the site, right?
That's right.
1-0 count on O'Neil, who had a single and scored in the first inning. Well, the one thing that never changes in New York with the game of baseball is the excitement when its teams play.
There's a buzz here, but it's not that initial buzz we had last year. This reminds me, seriously, of the way that when the Dodgers played the Giants. It was special, but it wasn't the end of the world.
It may be better that way for everybody.
Yeah, I guess.
Al Leiter, the 1-0 delivered to Paul O'Neil. And O'Neil backs off 2-0.
There's one thing about this, about the Yankees and the Mets playing, that a lot of people, it's not on the front page, and it should be. These are two good baseball teams. They're not two Humpty teams out there playing. And if one of them were a last place team or a next to last place team, this series would not be exactly the same. These are two good ball clubs playing for the back page of the tabloids every day. That is a lot to do with this. These are two real good ball clubs.
And we could be right back here in October.
Absolutely.
Do you think so?
I really think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
It's a real good shot at that.
Do you think the Yankees will get their pitching straightened out?
Well, the Yankees have 24 days to figure it out before that trading deadline. They better get themselves a starting pitcher. And he's in Philadelphia.
Is that singular or plural, you're saying?
They?
Pitcher. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they need more than
Pitcher.
one.
Yeah.
I think it's Kurt Schilling. I think that's the guy they should get.
Phillies are going to want a ton, but he could be had if you've got enough to give.
But if the Yankees make that move, they're a lock.
Neal, center field, way back, Jay Payton. Warning track just shy of it. Tom Seaver, Sal Marciano. Seaver the pitcher, Marciano the reporter. And I like that shirt. You know that shirt. That shirt I saw down at the disco the other night.
That's right.
I like that song.
I gave it to him.
Oh.
Look how happy Tom is taking that picture. He was so happy that day.
Sal, I was always happy to see you.
Sal, you dress better now. Tom. That was the look. Bernie Williams 2 down, and Williams pops it up outside of third. Robin Ventura has got it. Sal Marciano will be on the news at 10, WB11.
A pleasure to sit in with you.
Great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you. Tom, I'll see you in 30 more years.
I want to correct myself on, I thought that the writers did the voting on the Gold Gloves. They do not. Thank Marty Noble of Newsday who came in. The voting is done by managers and coaches, and I did not realize that because I've heard so many writers talk about the selection, I guess.
Well, I actually did. You know what that means? I had a writer come to me and ask me. He was going around and said, I've got to turn in my Gold Glove ballots about who I think. Well, how did he get the ballot? It must have been whoever the manager was that I was playing for at that time said, here, you take care of this.
Gave it to his favorite writer.
His favorite writer
Said,
said,
fill
go ahead,
this out and I'll
fill
sign
it in.
it.
Put your favorites in. I'll put my name on it. And they'll give somebody the Gold Glove.
Like the lineup card. There it is again, that off-speed curveball. Benny Agbayani takes it for a strike.
He's been using that pitch a lot. What happens, really, the hardest thing for ball players to do is judge other players because they have their own preferences.
Bernie Williams over. Agbayani with a base hit. Take a look at our Toyota out-of-town scoreboard with interleague play underway again. Final this afternoon at Wrigley. Atlanta with a big lead over Boston early. And Toronto up over Montreal. They had a rain delay in Florida. Minnesota and Pittsburgh going at it. Cleveland, Cincinnati, the great rivalries in state. Our Toyota scoreboard with the number of games to be started late.
Yeah, the one thing about ball players, and you could say the same thing, I guess, about coaches and managers, it's very hard to keep a very straight attitude when you try to pick the best player.
Leiter, the good bunt. Brocious, the bare hand, looked at second, goes to first. Knobloch covers. Sacrifice for Leiter is 4th of the year.
Al Leiter earlier in the year was saying, I really stink when I'm bunting. I'm not able to do the job. And you know that as a pitcher, you can end up costing yourself a ball game, costing yourself a win, costing the team a win. And he really struggled with his bunting. Started to work on it, trying to get his balance better, keep the bat out front. You can see it right there. Yeah, bat right out front, let it come right to you, and a good job.
Great job with the pressure being put on by Brocious because he was right on top of him.
He gets Mora down to second base. 1 down. Mets now with 2 hits off Hernandez. Mora bunting, hit him, he's out. Mel Mora's out of there. That ball hit him after he came out of the batter's box, and Benny Agbayani's got to go back to second base. And there are 2 down. Put out for the catcher.
If that ball comes up and hits you in the batter's box, you're not out. It's a foul ball. But he was moving with the bunt attempt and was out of the batter's box.
He did this the other day, and the ball hit him. And on this play, it is really obvious. You can see he's out of the batter's box. He did this the other day and got hit on that bunt. And actually, his back foot was up and off the ground and got away with it. The umpire said, no, it's a foul ball. That time clearly out of the batter's box. No argument for Bobby Valentine or anybody on that bench for the New York Mets.
And the put out on that play goes to the catcher.
Actually, it looked like it hit him twice. He kicked it after he started running after the ball had already hit him. That is taken inside for a ball. Derek Bell.
It'd be nice if you get 2 outs for that after you're a pitcher, wouldn't it?
You'd love that,
I
wouldn't
would
you?
love that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Always looking for the edge, right? As Tony La Russa says, find the edge.
Keep kicking it down there. We'll get 3 innings out of the way. Derek Bell, who flied out his first time up. Had a good series against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Went 3 for 9 with a home run in that series. 12 home runs and 50 RBIs for him. Up there among the leaders. With runners in scoring position, he and Edgardo Alfonso both in the top 10. Here's that breaking ball, this time slung it up high, 2-0. The age of Orlando Hernandez, almost as difficult to discover as trying to hit that breaking ball. I looked at one book today, it said 30. I looked at the press guide, it said 34.
You know Don Zimmer, who has a great sense of humor. And
he's 28 himself.
He's been in baseball for, what, 130 years? I said, listen, how old is Hernandez? He says somewhere between 28 and 57.
And that one rides inside.
And
there's Zim.
There's Don Zimmer right there. What stories he's got. There was a cross-up right there. Posada was going outside looking for the breaking ball, and a fastball right down the middle of the plate. It fooled the hitter, it fooled Bell, and it fooled Posada. Now you see how he's going left on camera left there, and it definitely a cross-up. That's the second time. He called timeout once before in this inning with a runner at second base.
One of the things about baseball players, before they had a pension plan, players used to take 2 and 3 years off their age because it kept them in the major leagues longer if they thought they weren't as old as they really were. But with the pension plan, you had to have the right age so you could get the money sooner.
That misses down low. Another form of stereotyping, huh? You don't know your age, you play a lot better.
That's true.
That's true.
Isn't that amazing, huh?
How about Satchel Paige? Never had a birth certificate. No one knows how old he was when he pitched in the majors. They actually pitched when he was in the 50-year bracket.
3-1 count, 2 down. Bell steps out. Runner at second base is Benny Agbayani.
He was so old that Bill Veeck had a rocking chair for him to sit in.
And he used it.
And he did use it.
He did. Here's the 3-1 delivery and a real high chopper. Derek Jeter makes a rebound and an out. And no runs despite the lean 1 hitters in Mets history. no hitters. We're talking about Met pitchers here. That's over 6,108 games. Who pitched the last one hitter for the Mets?
I know a guy that pitched 5 one-hitters for the Mets.
Not the last one, though.
No, not the last one.
We're hoping it's not the last one.
Jorge Posada will lead it off. Posada, Martinez, and Spencer. And inside to the Yankee catcher. Two 4-0 for the Yankees. 0-2-0 for the Mets through 3. Top of the 4th inning. First 2 games at Yankee Stadium, the Mets won 12-2. The Yankees won the second 13-5. This, of course, is a 4-game series with a big day tomorrow. The game to be played here, the 1:15 start time, and then the 8:10 start at Yankee Stadium tomorrow. 1 game each ballpark.
What happens if they go into overtime?
There have been some questions about that.
It'll be here.
Eat fast is the answer.
Yeah, it'll be a grin to everybody's face.
Skip the spread. Jorge Posada with a 1-ball 1-strike count. Take it inside. And how about the connections? Doc Gooden is coming back tomorrow to the Yankees to make the start against Bobby Jones. Glendon Rush and Roger Clemens tomorrow night, and then Sunday Andy Pettitte and Bobby M. Jones, the left-hander. But Doc Gooden is back. 2-1, fouled away. How long he stays, it may be no more than 1 game.
I looked for Joe Torre today, but there was a lot of press going on before the game, and he never came out during the Yankee batting practice that I saw when I was down there. I was talking to Don Zimmer about it. One thing I wanted to ask him about starting Doc Gooden here in this ballpark. I mean, there's a real emotional hill to have to climb over. Doc not only, probably most importantly, trying to get back to the big leagues, and then the emotional aspect of pitching at Shea Stadium. I bet you that they probably did was gave the option to Roger Clemens to say, where do you want to pitch, Roger? And he said, I'll take Yankee Stadium as opposed to coming over here. But I mean, not only is Doc Gooden fighting for time in the big leagues, trying to get back to the big leagues, but having to come here where, he was on that fast track to Cooperstown.
3-2 delivery, and Leiter gets his 4th strikeout. Jorge Posada, 1 away.
One of the things about the cutter that Al Leiter throws, and especially with 2 strikes, it looks like it's going to end up in the middle of the plate, but just keeps coming in, and coming in. And by the time it gets to you, it's in off the plate. You can't very readily just sit there and take that pitch, because not every time does he get it in off the plate. You might get called out on strike 3. That's why it is such an effective pitch. It makes the hitter make a commitment to the pitch.
Tino Martinez. What a turnaround for Al Leiter. First 5 batters got on. He's retired the last 8. That one is taken outside. Actually, the last 9 he's retired now. But Tino Martinez flied out his first time up. Martinez takes the fastball, 2-1.
Al Leiter making a 17th start. In the 16 previous starts, the Mets won 14 of them. They've won 14 of his 16 starts. He's having a career year. And his run support, 6.5 runs a game. That's what he averages. So if that holds true, well, if he holds them to 2 runs and he gets his 6 runs and wins 6-2, you're going to look back at that first out in the ballgame at the very top of the first inning. Because Leiter never really got his feet on the ground in the first inning and got out with just the 2 runs against him.
Knobloch drew that walk and then got picked off, caught stealing. 2-2 delivery. Way inside off Piazza's mitt.
That's an indication of where the hitter was looking for the ball. Tino thought that ball was going to be on the outside part of the plate, and whoop. get me out of the way of that. That's a pretty good heater.
Not very good numbers against Al Leiter. Third base. Piazza Ventura. Robin Ventura. 2 down.
Number 47, Shea Stadium.
Ventura checking out Piazza's position. Piazza really wasn't in position to go for that ball. It was up to Robin. And a much easier play for Robin at third base.
Leiter's got 2 down here. Retired the side in order. Second, third, 2 down here in the fourth. And foul back by Shane Spencer, a strikeout victim, his first time up. 28-year-old Shane Spencer, .268 career hitter. Leday, of course, dealt. Spencer getting time in left field. Search going on. David Justice coming to the Yankees. Will there be more in the way of deals to be struck with a deadline coming at the end of the month?
According to Sal Marciano, there will be.
1-1 delivery. Inside by Leiter, 2-1.
It's going to become that yearly event where you've got the haves and the have-nots and the in-between teams and clubs that say, listen, we're not going to win this year. Let's dump salaries. Somebody's going to take it if they think they've got a chance to win.
Spencer strike fastball, 2-2. There is David Justice. Justice has appeared in 6 games as a Yankee. He's had 3 hits and 21 at-bats in those 6 games. 3-2.
And the other factor too involved is when the players in 1 year of playing out his contract. You want to get somebody for him.
Jose Vizcaino, of course, joining the team. That one to left field. Benny Agbayani coming. 11 in a row set down by Al Leiter, but the Yankees 2 runs scored in the first still hold up. Piazza with a ground out his first time up. 1 for 8 off El Duque in his career. Fouls that back, 2-2. Well, Alfonso strikes out a little less than once every 2 games, and he's already struck out twice in this one, so that is really unusual for that to happen to Edgardo Alfonso.
A good batter will know the umpire's strike zone, and one of the things about these umpire situation with the combination of the American League and National League all together now is that you don't know the umpires.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Piazza, did he go? First base, no. Dana DeMuth again. Piazza had been a rookie and nobody knew who he was. This would have been strike 3.
I don't know whether the judge will allow you to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3-2 delivery.
There's that little sidearm crossfire pitch.
Well, it was 3-2 to Todd Zeile. Threw him a fastball, and Zeile lined the ball, remember, to the third baseman in the second inning. 3-2 into fastball to Piazza. One of the things about Hernandez, he will give up the long ball. He's given up 19 home runs so far.
That's a strike. 2 called third strikes on Alfonso and Piazza.
Against 2 guys that do not strike out very much. It's not very often you see number 3 and the number 4 hitter, and that's the same pitch. That fastball that's tailing back to the corner. Check to see if it's a strike. Wow. By a fraction. That is borderline, but as they say, too close to take. You got a number 3 and 4 hitter. Neither one of them strike out very much.
Robin Ventura to right field. Atom ball. Ventura is retired, and Orlando Hernandez sets the Mets down again. Second time in 4 innings. The Mets have been retired in order.
In the Yankees clubhouse, Torre did not select Yankee reliever Jeff Nelson to make the team, and Nelson's not happy about it. He says he doesn't feel like he has the respect of his manager, and it may affect the way he does his job. Specifically, he says he may not want to pitch with those aches and pains that a pitcher has. Now, Nelson's teammates weren't happy with his remarks, and they told him about it. As for Torre's response, he said, well, it's just a numbers game, and you can't take everybody you want to take. Back upstairs to you guys.
Sean, I wonder, Joe Torre had to look at that and go, what is that guy talking about? Players all said, well, we looked and saw who it was and just kind of let it go away. But to say you may not pitch because you didn't get selected to the All-Star game.
That's not really the right thing to say.
No. No, that will not make you a big fan favorite or a favorite with your manager. Down to third, right at him, Scott Brocious. One third baseman to another, one down.
The interesting thing about the players that are picked by the manager, the ones not voted as #1 in their respective positions, is that Alfonso, a second baseman, was picked as a shortstop. Now, Alfonso can play short. He can play third and he can play second. I think that was a great thing done when they picked Alfonso.
He certainly deserves to go.
Bobby Cox, the manager of the All-Star team for the National League.
Orlando Hernandez up, strikeout victim, his first time up. The National League, the decision was at second base, the American League at short. Those were the tough choices that had to be made. Derek Jeter was added, of course. Alex Rodriguez made it as the starting shortstop. Nomar Garcia-Pera made it as well. 1-2 delivery, bunted, foul. That's his confidence as a hitter. He's out of there, trying to bunt for a base hit, 2-strike count. Now weekday mornings, it's a whole new way to start. 5 Ks now for Leiter and only 1 walk. Trying to retire the side in order for the 4th consecutive inning if he can get Knobloch. Missed inside with a ball. Knobloch with that leadoff walk, and maybe the most important play of the ball game. When he got to first base, tried to run on the first pitch that wasn't. It was a throw to first, and he got picked off in that caught stealing situation. 1-1. Why do they have the rule that if the runner goes to second, it's a caught stealing? I still don't understand that. That's a pickoff.
Well, somebody made a decision, that's all.
Yeah,
and they said, well, if you're going to second, you are caught stealing. If you're not going, that's a pickoff.
Ventura. He picked that off, and Knobloch's retired. And Al Leiter is settled in. Yankees have not had a base runner since the first inning. But in that first inning, they got 2 runs on 4 hits. Gary Thorne, Friday night in New York. And our Dodge trivia question. There have been 17 one-hitters in Mets history by Met pitchers. No no-hitters. Who pitched the last one-hitter? Was it Terry Leach?
Boy, that's really going back there.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
David Cone.
David Cone? Ding, 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 ding.
Hey, I got one. I knew I'd get one this year.
yeah.
Is that my final answer? Yes, indeed.
91, September 20, David Cone.
Well, you were talking to David Cone before the ball game, and you asked him, did he pitch a no-hitter and when? I heard that question. So you got a little advanced advice.
We did not talk about that, Ralph. I had no prior information to that quiz.
Ralph, I'm with you. We found him out. He cheated on us.
No, the only thing, I had only one edge. All of a sudden, there was a little voice in my ear, and I think it came from the truck, and they said, he's in the ballpark. Now, I just did it. I looked around in the stands. I didn't see anybody that was, used to pitch here, and I said, well, there is somebody here. But, and I don't know if Doc Gooden's here or not. It's a wild guess.
Here.
It was a wild guess with just a little bit of help.
I'm not buying this, Ralph. He knew what the trivia question was before.
No, I didn't. I did not.
Pitch is taken inside. Todd Zeile, 3-0. Dwight Gooden is not here, choosing to avoid the zoo, and I'm sure the Yankees wanted it that way, of all the press coverage and everything. So the 1986 pitcher on the Met World Series team is going to pitch against the Mets tomorrow here. Not here tonight.
He has never pitched against the Mets. It'd be his first chance. And it should be pretty exciting.
And a walk. Todd Zeile. I think he will be warmly greeted by Met fans.
I would think so, yes. One of the things about Doc Gooden, if he had the stuff he had when he joined the Mets, it would really be exciting. He was the best young pitcher I ever saw. Now, I never saw Bob Feller, but he was devastating. Had a great fastball that moved, a great curveball.
Amazing what happened.
He was a Hall of Famer.
Johnny Bench said the same thing about it. Best stuff he's ever seen. Fastball and a curveball that was absolutely drop dead.
And that includes Nolan Ryan, so you're talking about some pretty good pitches. That includes Tom Seaver. I saw you when you were young.
I didn't throw like that. I was sinker slider when I got here.
I'll tell you, the one thing about you that's amazing to me is that you learned how to throw the ball faster than when you threw it when you were 21 years of age. That's something I've never seen in the history of the game where someone got faster.
I think
it had to be mechanics.
Mechanics and genetic as well, being a late bloomer, I believe.
Now, at USC, you went in the Marine Corps.
I was in the Marine Corps before I went to USC.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But physically, I didn't fill out until I was, 19 or 20
and
years old.
only three teams wanted to get you: Atlanta, Cleveland, and Philadelphia, and their names were in the hat along with the Mets, the fourth team. And the Mets threw your name out of the hat. That's how you got it.
The way I pitched, I didn't blame the rest of
So
them.
far for the scouting system.
The best part of all Ralph's comments there were, I knew you when you were young. A 2-0 count on Jay Payton. Runner at first, nobody out. Leadoff walk to Zeile. First walk given up by Hernandez. 3-0.
Well, the Met fans can smell it, and certainly the Mets can smell it on the bench. In this inning, Zeile drew the walk, and Hernandez pitched to him very poorly. Didn't want to pitch to him. If you think back about the line drive on the 3-2 pitch, the fastball that Zeile turned around. And all of a sudden now you've got a different pitcher on the mound. He's been ahead of everybody and fell right behind Zeile 3-0 and right behind Jay Payton 3 balls and no strikes. And Payton had a terrible swing on his first time up last in the second inning. Big curveball and had a wild swing out.
3-1 count on Jay Payton. Fouled it back, 3-2. Couple of stories in the New York papers today that Orlando Hernandez went with Joe Torre and the team doctor a couple of days ago into the private closed meeting, and no one wants to talk about why and whether or not there may be something physically wrong with him has been raised. Joe Torre simply said he's going to continue pitching. Nothing to prevent him from pitching, whatever that means. And that is as far as that story has gone to this point. He would not talk about the visit with Torre and the doctor. Throw over. And the GM was involved in that for the Yankees as well, I believe. Zeile at first base being held by Martinez. Payton with a 3-2 count.
Because you got to think about a hit and run in this situation. I think it's good play. I think if Payton strikes out, he's got to strike out on the breaking ball.
Runner goes. Tried to put it to second base and fouled it off.
I don't think you can strike Jay Payton. I don't think Hernandez can strike out Jay Payton with a fastball.
I don't think so either. He's not that fast. Payton's got a good fast bat.
And I think if he's going to strike him out, it's going to be the off-speed pitch. And yes, Zeile at first base does not have good speed, but gets a decent jump in the slower pitch. He's got a chance to steal second base.
Mets have had 2 runners in scoring position, and that's all.
3-2 count. Peyton is gone. 5 for 9 with a home run against the Yankees this year. Runner goes. Ball 4. Won't matter. 2 on, nobody out.
Well, the one thing you want to do with the Yankees is to get to their bullpen, their middle relief bullpen, in a hurry. And right now, 2 walks in a row, and no action in the Yankee bullpen yet.
Yankees have called up recently, including one today, 3 pitchers. Today, a right-hander, Darrell Einerston, was called up from AAA. It's his 3rd stint with the Yankees this year. They've got 3 middle relievers in the bullpen that they have rarely used, and actually at this point would probably rather not. Ford is out there. Choate is out there. And the pitcher called up today, Matty Agbayani. 2 on, nobody out. Agbayani right into the glove. 1, 2. They can't turn 3, but it was close.
Boy, how did he ever catch the ball? How did the pitcher Hernandez make this catch?
Boy, he left himself in good fielding position. Got his hands out in front of his body. That ball was not softly hit. That was a line drive up the middle. Wow, that's a pretty good athlete right there. One of the things, talking to Don Zimmer before the game, and one of the things he said, there is a good fielding pitcher and a highly conditioned athlete. He was really very complimentary about Hernandez. Talking about Don Zimmer, he says, we don't know how old he is, but he is in fabulous shape.
Just proved it. He also said his outfielder. I'm looking at Orlando Hernandez is turning around to left field and waving. He was waving in Shane Spencer, the left fielder. Thought he was too deep. Spencer's moved in about 6 steps. Al Leiter, and look at this.
See how smart those pitchers are, Ralph?
You knew that was coming.
I wasn't going to pass that one up, baby.
Spencer's going, hey, I'm going to listen to this guy from now on. Watch him turn to Spencer. Come in here. You. Move in. Move in. Hey, move in. What a play by El Duque. Has something like this happened before? Well, of course. Couldn't get the ball out of the glove. Throw the whole darn thing. Tino can handle it. There's one of the great replays of all time right there.
We saw that happen in another game when Mulholland got hit by a line drive in the glove, stuck in the glove, and he threw it to first base to get Keith Hernandez on a line drive back in the mound.
What amazed me about the El Duque play is he actually had to throw it. That was a pretty good toss he had to make.
Overhand pitch.
Yeah.
It had a little spin on it, too. I noticed that.
Breaking ball glove. Derek Jeter, 1 ball, 1 strike count. Jeter has continued. Hit the ball hard. 4-game hit streak for him. 1 for 2 in the game. Ooh, and he got jammed, and that hurt right down onto the foot.
Standing around the batting cage, and I was talking to Derek Jeter. I said, what do you think about Al Leiter? What do you try to do? He said, well, you got to defend against that cutter that comes way inside. And it may look like it's going to be in the middle of the plate, and all of a sudden it just eats you up. And this is probably the worst scenario. Just keeps coming in, and you hit the top of the ball with actually a good swing and drive it right down into your foot, and ouch. And that's why he's wearing that protector on that left leg. It is a kind of pitch, there's really only one place you can hit it hard, and that's in foul territory when Al Leiter is throwing correctly. When he's got his good stuff going, a good location, and good movement.
2 ball, 2 strike count on Derek Jeter. Jeter's had a home run each of his last 2 games. 3-run homer in the 2nd inning of yesterday's game. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Leiter gets the foul ball.
There's the example of what you have to do when you're hitting that cut fastball, because he did that right then, and the only way he could really hit the ball was to pull a foul.
Oh, the connections these 2 teams have playing in New York. Willie Randolph, one of those. Both sides of the city. One of the game's outstanding infielders. He looks like he's wondering what's going on here.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
We can have a little meeting.
Yeah.
Got to change the signs around, boys. You know those advanced scouts? Some of them come here and they're watching the third base coach, looking for signs. Joe Nosek, who was a coach in Chicago for the White Sox for Tony La Russa, one of the best I ever saw picking signs up. Absolutely one of the best. And Bobby said, maybe it is coincidence. Then again, might make you want to change your signs.
I think they will change their signs. They're going to not take that chance.
Swung on a miss, Bernie Williams.
Well, that was really a good change up there.
Leiter had retired 14 in a row before the single by Jeter. Now he's got 2 down here. Williams extended his hit streak to 17 games. Bernie's career high 21 back in '93, a 21-game hit streak. 1-1 pitch missed inside. 2-1. Williams now at .334 for a batting average. You believe .334 is not good enough to get you into the top 10 average in the American League?
And Garcia Parra is just about at 400.
.393 starting the day. Williams is 7th in runs scored. And a grounded to first. Zeal. No runs, a base hit, nobody left on. Jeter, who reached on a single, taken out, and this caught stealing. 1-3-6. And elsewhere for interleague play, our scoreboard brought to you by Toyota. Atlanta's still up there, and Montreal, Toronto up by 2. Rain delay in Florida. They're playing through it now. Interleague play will continue to the All-Star game and then a series afterwards. And then interleague play will have been concluded for another year. And then issue will be what the schedule is going to look like next year. Back to the unbalanced schedule. Certainly looks like interleague play is going to survive, at least for those teams who have the great rivalries. They're not too Irish, are they? Hey, laddie. Look at those lassies with the red. 2-0 lead. 2-5-0 for the Yankees. 0-2-0 for the Mets. El Duque and Al Leiter in a fine matchup. Mel Mora. Leiter got in trouble with the first 5 hitters he faced. RBIs went to Williams and Jorge Posada in the first. El Duque just hasn't allowed much of anything. Only been 2 Met hits in the game. Foul back. Agbayani has had a single and a double by Ventura.
One of the ways that Hernandez pitched is really kind of an old classic way. It's soft stuff down and hard stuff up above the top of the strike zone, and then hard stuff in and soft stuff away. We've seen him use that big slow curveball, the slop drop, as Ralph talks about. And there's that cutter fastball, comeback fastball, I should say, that he's been working on the outside part of the plate to right-hand hitters. An old basic philosophy of hard stuff in and soft stuff away and soft stuff down and hard stuff up.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Mora.
Well, you can tell he's an old-fashioned type pitcher with that crossfire because of the way he wears his pants.
rather stylish.
High stockings.
I love that look. I think that looks like a baseball uniform should look.
What did you mention to me about my tie today? You said always in fashion, but
never out of style.
Never out of style. That was
just like that. Always in fashion.
Very nice little compliment there.
Never out of style.
New York Public Library tie.
2-2 delivery. Off the fist to third. Roches has it. One away.
That's a great pitch from Hernandez. That's kind of the same swing that you'll see when Al Leiter gets that cutter going into right-handers. That's that comeback fastball that has been thrown away. And this time, he started it in the middle of the plate, and the ball just ran right in at his belly button. Watch the ball take off right for that belly button. Yeah, and he had to collapse his arms. Had to change his swing right in the middle of it. Hard stuff in, soft stuff away. That's a beautiful pitch right there.
One down. Derek Bell chasing one away. Bell tied for 10th in runs, 7th in batting average with runners in scoring position, and the 8th best home batting average goes to Derek Bell. He's hit well here at Shea Stadium. And that's going to be a base hit into left center field. Played by Spencer. Derek Bell, a one-out single in the 6th inning on the 70th pitch from Hernandez.
Yeah, one of the things the Mets are after, get those guys on base in front of Alfonso and Mike Piazza, and you see the reaction of Hernandez. Is that is my fault. I got the breaking ball up. There's a little soft single to left center field, and you can see Hernandez pounding himself in the chest. Said, "Yeah, I made a bad pitch there. That's my fault."
Well, Alfonso has had a tough night. Didn't like the calls when he has been struck out, but he has struck out twice, and now in the position to see Hernandez for the 3rd time.
One down and one on. 3 hits to the Mets. Alfonso drills it. Williams back. Reaching. Got it. One pitch. 2nd out.
This time, Bernie Williams gets a good jump on the ball. Earlier he had misjudged the ball and played it into a double by Ventura. Right here he gets a great jump.
And the ball a little bit different angle to center field. Easier for him to pick the ball up. Well, you were right there about seeing Hernandez for the 3rd time with Alfonso. We'll get that out. Boy, he's got a big hurdle here on Mike Piazza. Again, Hernandez has given up 19 home runs this year.
Center field. Bernie Williams. El Duque is getting the middle of that order in a hurry. Everybody into the All-Star break. Doc Gooden and Bobby Jones, a right-hander, tomorrow here at Shea. Glendon Rush and Roger Clemens at the stadium. Andy Pettit and Bobby M. Jones, the left-hander, Sunday here at Shea. With Ralph Kiner and Tom Seaver, I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us, everyone, as the Subway Series rejoined.
And the last time they played a doubleheader in 2 different ballparks in New York was 1903. Brooklyn was playing against the Giants, of course, and no lights, so both games were day games, a morning game and an afternoon game. There were no subways then, so the players had to go in trolley cars, I would guess, to the different ballparks.
Tomorrow they will go by police escorted coaches. Pitch is taken inside. It'll be one of the quickest rides in history, because when the NYPD escorts you, you don't stop. They block off every exit. They frog leap with the motorcycle crew, and you just get there.
You know, that's one of the differences in the game when I played in the game now today. is that the players will be taking coaches. When I played, they took the bus.
Oh, no buses. These are coaches.
Coaches.
Video machines, stereo systems. 2-1 pitch fouled off.
Well, didn't you ride in the police escorted? You rode in a coach or bus with police escorts in 1969 when they had the big parade down Broadway.
I would imagine, yeah. I would imagine.
And they do a job.
Well,
you
86,
can't believe
I remember when we went in.
Oh, yeah.
Took about 15 minutes to get from Shea Stadium to Battery Park.
They have got that down. It's just unreal.
So many VIPs, of course, here. 2-2. Visiting New York City, they do that for motorcades.
I remember in '69 there were hundreds of fans on the road as you drove by, waving and yelling at the Mets, and also '86.
Yep. Jorge Posada, 3-2 delivery. Leiter, 6 strikeouts. Leiter's given up 1 single since the first inning. That's it. He's walked 1 and struck out 6.
And that single was really disputed by Tom Seaver. And that's the first time today I've agreed with him.
Just today?
Well, I have several times.
Yes?
Yeah.
This season?
No.
No. Okay. Want to check and be sure.
That was the last century.
That's right. Tino Martinez takes a strike.
Well, Al Leiter says, hello, Tino. I'll take a little page out of El Duque's book and drop down, throw a little sidearm piece of cheese in there. See if I can make that right knee quiver a little bit, and he did on that one, too.
Martinez has dramatically improved his numbers against left-handers. Hit .261 last year. He's hitting .314 this year off southpaws. 1 ball, 1 strike count. 2-1 on Tino Martinez. 32-year-old first baseman came into the year with a .275 career average in the majors. He's anchored that first base job. 2-1 pitch by Leiter to him is outside. 3-1. Al has gone 4-4 lifetime against the New York Yankees. A lot of these hitters have had their day at the plate against him a number of times. 3-1 pitch, and it'll take it full. 3-2.
Well, Al Leiter going to the All-Star game in Atlanta. There's a chance they may be the starter there, and well-deserved. He has really pitched awfully well this year. And another fine effort here today after he got his feet on the ground after that first inning, but he can start for the National League.
3-2 delivery. Grounded to first. Todd Zeal bobbled. Leiter covers. Tagged him for the out. Smart play by Leiter. Looked like he wasn't sure he's going to be able to find the bag, so rather than do a little tap dance and maybe miss it, he just tagged him.
Now Leiter is not the fastest runner on the New York Mets. In this play after the bobble by Zeal, his head gets really turned around toward the infield. He knew he wasn't in the bag yet. It almost was if you can hear footsteps. That's good play. You're exactly right, Gary. Throw that glove down there about waist high. Take the out that way.
He's got 2 away. Here's Shane Spencer. Wind has really picked up here in the last couple innings. That center field flag blowing over to right. Grounded down to third. Broke the bat again. Ventura off the bag. Tag made. Got him. Good play by Zeal. Another 1, 2, 3 in. Mayer's on hand. Mayor Giuliani and the governor of New Jersey, Christine Whitman, on hand today or tonight. The Yankees and the Mets. And it's 2-0. 7th inning stretch done. And moving along with these 2 pitchers, Orlando Hernandez and Al Leiter, controlling the game. Robin Ventura 1 for 2 with a double in the 2nd inning. Ventura and Agbayani are the only Mets to have made it to second base in this game. Bounced in front of Ventura and a 1-1 count.
Ventura has hit the ball very well in his 2 at-bats. A double misjudged in center field over the head of the center fielder, Bernie Williams, and also a line drive caught in right field by O'Neil.
Breaking ball outside to him. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Ventura now is 17 doubles on the year. Zeal's got 25. Inside corner strike. Boy, El Duque has thrown some nasty pitches to Robin Ventura tonight. That's one of them. Kind of eaten up the inside part of that plate. 2-2 pitch. And another 3-2 count.
Take a look at the last 2 pitches. This, the fastball inside. Robin Ventura said, yeah, I'm looking for the ball out over the plate. And a good pitch. That one down and away.
3-2. Right field. Wind blowing towards right. O'Neil's got it. Ventura's retired.
I'm telling you, Hernandez just changes speeds just enough to get you off just a fraction. Ventura had a pretty good swing on that ball. He was on balance in the driver's seat as far as the count goes, got a pitch up, and it looked like he could drive, and evidently just did not hit it on the sweet part of the bat. See if you can tell where he makes contact. Yep, out on the end route, a little movement at that hitting zone. Just a little movement, and you move the ball on that bat just a couple of inches. I mean, that's a home run swing. He hit that exactly the way he wanted to. Only he did not hit it on the part of the bat that he wanted to.
Missed by about 3 inches on the good part of the bat.
1 strike count on Todd Zeal. No, foul ball. Rob Cook, umpire third, almost fooled me on that one. He gave me a little bit of that. It's almost, but no.
It gave you one of those looks, and umpires do this a lot where they make a first move so they can go there again. And it's their second move that will determine whether it's going to be a strike or a ball or a fair ball or a foul ball. See that? It gives you some umpire. A lot of umpires do this, and it's not bad because they make themselves time, give themselves some time to make sure that they've got it right. Just that split second to make sure they've got it right.
And he did.
On a ground ball, the ball has to go over the top of the bag to be fair.
2 strike count, 1 down. El Duque has interesting numbers. He is 1-5 at Yankee Stadium with a 5.7 ERA. He is 6-1 on the road with a 3.54. Almost 2 runs a game different higher at home than he is on the road. 1-2 delivery. Had a double clutch. Williams over. Can't get it. And Todd Zeal has the Mets' 4th hit of the game.
You know, it's interesting about the Yankees. You're talking about that, Gary, that last year they were 50-31 on the road. This year they're just 3 over, 23-20. Here out in front, Todd Zeal, a little flare to right center, made contact, put it in play. Actually, a pretty good play by Bernie Williams to keep him out of scoring position. I don't think he'd have gotten to that ball. He could have misplayed it and allowed the runner to get to second base.
That'll bring up Payton. 1 down. He has swung at that pitch, I think, in all of his at-bats with the same result.
Slop drop, change up type curveball. And Payton really out in front, looking obviously fastball in the pitch.
Oh, 1 count on him. Zeal will be held by Martinez. Jorge Posada bluffs him back to first on a 2-strike count on Jay Payton. El Duque has giving him, Peyton, a tough night at the plate.
Well, let's see what he does on this pitch. No balls and 2 strikes, and Peyton has not had a good swing at this pitch the entire night. He has not come close to making contact. Slow breaking ball, perfect location.
They showed him a fastball way off the plate.
Showed it to him.
And now you'd have to think, if you can.
Are you talking about a
That's
hitter
going to be something different.
or a pitcher here? Which one are you talking about?
Well, it's a tough spot because you got 2 strikes. You can't guess wrong because you can't take the pitch.
1-2 count. And he took that one, and he's gone. 3 strikeouts for El Duque.
Guess which one he was looking for.
He was looking with a curveball, and he got the heater.
He struck me out on this. I'm looking curveball too. Absolutely, I'm looking curveball. With the bad swings that he's had on the breaking balls, and there's that fastball, comes right back from the outside.
That's a real difference in hitting with 2 strikes. You've got to be right because you can't take the pitch.
Make that 4 strikeouts for El Duque. 4 in the game as Peyton is retired. 2 down here in the 7th inning. And Benny Agbayani. Agbayani maybe hit into the play of the game his last time up. Almost a triple play with 2 on, nobody out. A line drive that Hernandez handled. Went to second and got an out, and they almost tripled it up at first. One. Bear in mind that Orlando Hernandez had an elbow problem that kept him out for 12 days before his last start that he won against Tampa Bay. In that game, he threw 84 pitches. He is now up to 86 in this game. And you've got to believe that meeting that was held with the GM and Torrey and the doctor before this start had to do with how many pitches could he throw in this game. Having 1 game since the elbow injury against Tampa Bay, this is his 2nd. He's gone over the number he threw in that Tampa Bay game by about 5 now. Agbayani right into the glove. Martinez holding the bag. 2-5-0 for the Yankees. 0-4-0 for the Mets. Leiter and Hernandez. New York trailing Atlanta by a game and a half. And Atlanta beating Boston 5-0 in the 7th. The Yankees trailing Toronto by a half game. Toronto now trailing Montreal 5-4 as the Expos have come back after being down 4-0. Fouled off Scott Brocious. What a job these 2 pitchers are doing right now. Leiter with a walk and 6 strikeouts. Hernandez a walk and 4 strikeouts. 1 batter has reached since the 1st inning against Al Leiter. A leadoff single by Jeter that could have been an error. And Brocious bloops that one for a base hit into center. Leadoff single in the 8th inning for Scott Brocious.
Al Leiter coming into this inning at 110 pitches thrown. And you think about that, he had 33 in the 1st inning. 33. So in the following 6 innings, he has thrown just 77 pitches. Actually, a pretty good pitch right there. Inside, probably broke the bat of Scott Brocious. You know, Al Leiter was signed originally by the Yankees. And then in 1989, he pitched a game at Yankee Stadium. His 3rd start of the year. It was very cold. And Dallas Green was the manager. And Al Leiter went through 8 innings and had thrown 162 pitches in that ball game. 162. And then went back out to the mound in the 9th inning. 3rd start of the year. He made 1 more start after he was traded right after that start. And then went under the knife, an operation on his shoulder.
Orlando Hernandez crossing up the Mets, but he missed it. They were coming hard at 1st and 3rd.
The old Casey Stengel butcher boy. Yeah, got to try and make contact there.
Trying to get that runner down to second base. Scott Brocious, who is not a fast base runner. Orlando Hernandez has one sacrifice. Bunts it. Foul. He tried to bunt on 2 strikes his last time up and fouled it off. He has struck out both times up. Now what do you do?
Bunt. Hey, the defense, the push coming down from first base, third base. Look at that. What are you going to do with it? Where are you going to bunt it? Well, if you can practice that butcher boy, you might be able to do something. The only bad part about that play is that the pitcher lays one in there. You still got to get good stuff on the ball. One of the things about that play, when the third baseman comes, the first baseman comes hard, and you actually want the hitter to bunt the ball, the pitcher still has to throw the ball hard. You just can't throw a lollipop up there.
A 2-strike count. Pitch out, and the runner not going. They tried to sneak Alfonso in behind Brocious that time, but Brocious didn't go far off the bag. Willie Randolph, third base coach. Used to be with the Mets. Lee Mazzilli, first base coach, used to be with the Mets. Joe Torre used to manage the Mets, played. There's Mazzilli. Mel Stottlemyre, Yankee pitcher, Mets pitching coach, Yankee pitching coach now. All kinds of interrelationships there. Throw over to first. Zeal had to reach back to get that one. Just trying to keep Brocious leaning back towards first. Give the Mets a chance to get him at second base if Hernandez bunts here, as the Mets think he will. Ventura's still in at third, and a timeout taken. Hernandez had asked for the timeout. 1 ball, 2-strike count. He does bunt and again fouls it off. For the second time he strikes out, trying to bunt with 2 strikes. 7 Ks for Leiter. 1 away. New York, we've got our eyes on you. Live traffic updates from Air 11 every weekday morning on the WB. Have you with us? The Mets on WB11 here on this Friday night. 2-0 lead for the Yankees. And Chuck Knobloch up. Some of the impact of interleague play seen in this game, with El Duque coming up in a couple of situations where he needed to get a runner over and couldn't do it, having to hit in the National League ballpark. The Mets will have a big advantage tomorrow in the doubleheader, in the sense that Piazza is going to get to catch one game and DH the other if Bobby Valentine wants to. Pitch is taken inside. Ball 1 on Knobloch. Think they're Yankee fans? And there is the man. They are riding 2. Strike taken. 1-1 on Knobloch.
I think Knobloch was guessing ball there. Guy with good back control, put the ball in play. I think he was guessing ball in that situation, or thinking that Al Leiter might go to first base. The pitch right down the middle looked like he had no intention whatsoever to go after it.
Swung on and missed. 1-2.
Take a good look at this cutter. Looks like it's going to be in the strike zone, and just keeps biting right down in on top of you. If he'd have made contact with that ball, just like Derek Jeter, probably driven it right down into his ankle.
Knobloch, 32 years old today, waiting on the 1-2. So far, his birthday wish has come true. The Mets have not hit a ground ball to Chuck Knobloch.
Nary a ball. There has not been one throw from position number 4 defensively for the Yankees. That is, we shouldn't laugh about that. That's just how difficult that is.
Foul bag. One of the real ironies of the Knobloch throwing problem is, was it 2 years ago it reared its head? It went away. It disappeared. He was able to throw okay, and now it's back again.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
generally, if you get it, you got it.
And he's a Gold Glove winner.
Yeah.
1997, he won a Gold Glove.
And can take the warm-ups in the infield with no trouble at all. He can go out there and field ground balls and throw to first during infield practice with nary a problem.
And we talked about this the other night on the air, about pitchers that, if it's an intentional walk, can't throw the ball to home plate. Ray Sadecki couldn't throw the ball in there. There was a catcher you were talking about that couldn't throw the ball back to the mound.
Dale Murphy. 1-2. Mackey Sasser. I mean, there have been a number of them. At second base, 54 games, 15 errors. Last year, 26 errors. 119 in his career. But 2 years ago, he was fine. It's a strange thing. Nobody would like to know the answer more than Chuck Knobloch. 2-2 delivery to him inside. Good pickup by Piazza. Had a one-hand that one. And a 3-2 count on Knobloch, one down. On at first base, Brocious.
Mike Piazza, good reach on that cutter. Boy, if Al Leiter really cuts a big one, then he's got a lot of difference. A difficult play to make. A big reach. The ball just keeps biting away from the catcher as well as in on that hitter.
Fans are having their little Yankee Mets cheer war going on. Knobloch fights it off. And it remains a 3-2 count. Knobloch is a tough out. That's why he's in that leadoff spot. Last year he had the 4th best on base percentage for a leadoff batter in the American League. 9th pitch of this at bat is coming up here. He fights off pitches. He's only struck out 27 times, drawing 19 walks. Throw over to get Brocious back. Leiter's up to 124. Three-two. Second base, Alfonso. Bell coming in. Nobody's going to get it. Alfonso does. Alfonso had a long run because the runner was going and he'd started to second. And Bell kept coming in and kept looking at Alfonso.
It looked pretty shaky there for a minute. Edgardo kept rechecking on the ball. He looked up about 3 or 4 times. You can see how far away he is. He's heading to second base. The runner off on the 3-2 pitch. He checks again, checks again. Oh, you got to find the ball. You know Derek Bell is coming. You got to see, where are you, Derek? Where are you? Come on. Give me a little help here. Good play by Edgardo.
2 down. Derek Jeter, runner at first still. Jeter takes it inside for a ball. Jeter with 2 hits. One he got, one the official scorer got, and he is grounded out. Al Leiter has given up just 6 hits in the game. Trailing 2-0 though, as the Yankees. Orlando Hernandez has shut the Mets out on 4 hits so far. We are in the 8th inning. Jeter, 7 hits and 20 at bats now, lifetime off Leiter. Striking the inside, 1-1.
One of the things that Jeter does so very well is going to right field. And if you play at all your home games at Yankee Stadium, yeah, it would behoove you to try to hit the ball down that right field line, that short porch. A lot of times if you take the discipline and hit the ball to right field, try to go to right field, it really makes you a much better hitter. Leiter is a tough pitcher to do that on when he comes inside so hard with those cut fastballs. He gets the ball out over the plate, especially where the Mets play in the defense and have to play it. They play Jeter especially with Leiter pitching. And they play him on the infield to pull. Big hole on the right side. Fans
want the K. 1-2 delivered to Jeter. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. On at first base, Scott Brocious, who led this inning off with a single. But they could not get him moved up. He's still there. Two, full count.
Boy, you saw that last shot of the outfield, and that's exactly where Derek Jeter would like to go, that huge hole in right center field. As it's panned around the right field, look at this. Look at the amount of territory out there. Wow. Huge.
Yankees with a 2-0 lead. Batting here in the top of the 8th inning with 2 down, a 3-2 count. And Brocious will be running from first. And he struck him out. No runs, 1 hit, and a strikeout for Leiter to end it. They're settled down after the first, and he has had 8 strikeouts in this game.
You saw 2 different pitchers in today's game for Al Leiter in the first inning, and then from then on he was superb. Our Jeep game summary. RBI singles have done it. The Williams and Posada, and the play of the game for me is that line drive double play that Hernandez turned.
No runners reach third, as you saw for the Mets. The 8 Ks pile for Leiter. Orlando Hernandez outside for a ball. Lenny Harris is the pinch hitter. So that will be it for Leiter. Lenny Harris leading off the bottom of the inning, pinch hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Harris. We were talking about Chuck Knobloch at second base. Close game, late innings. He comes out. Jose Vizcaino in. 1-1. Harris to center. Bernie Williams. Harris is retired, 1 away. With the Mets now, he is 2 for 13 as a pinch hitter. Leiter's got to hope for some offensive help here in the 8th.
One of the things about the Met Ball Club, if you can hold a club to 2 runs, your opposition to 2 runs over 8 innings, you got a real good chance of winning and should win. Al has averaged team run support of the year about 6.5 runs. That's the average that he gets for the games that he has started so far.
Leadoff batter Melvin Mora, and there's the breaking ball, missing again inside, ball 1.
Kind of guy that Leiter is. If the game ends up like this, he'll be in there blaming himself about the way he pitched in the first inning, giving up a couple of runs.
Trying for the base hit, 1-1. Obviously 5 from over. This is where the Mets would like to take it, though, because the big guys like Piazza would get a chance of men on if they get up this inning. 1 down, more of the leadoff batter than Bell, Alfonso, and Piazza. Fine performance by Al Leiter in his 17th start of the year. Looking to go 2-0 against the Yankees this year. But down in this game, 2-0. 1-1, right center field. That's towards the gap. That's going to be in the gap. 1 hopper off the wall. Williams will play it. Morris thinking 3. Vizcaino relay throw. Not in time.
By the New York Yankees, and Melvin Mora going that way. Got the off-speed pitch on the outside part of the plate. Actually, a pretty good pitch. And trying to hit that ball in that huge hole between Williams and Paul O'Neil. That's a good piece of hitting right there.
Orlando Hernandez unable to get. Mora. Gets his 2nd triple of the year ahead of that throw. 1-1 Yankees. 2 2 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 Leiter watching as Mora went to third. Mel Stottlemyre, pitching coach, talking through Jorge Posada. Mel continues undergoing the treatment necessary for his cancer, and we wish him well. And here comes Bill. The hottest bat in the lineup. 1 for 3 in the game. Represents potential tying run. Right field. O'Neil at the wall. Looking, jumping, makes the catch. Mora tags. Paul O'Neil. Robbing Bell of what looked like it would be a home run. A run scores, but the Yankees still lead by 1.
Paul O'Neil absolutely brought that ball back. What an outstanding defensive play in a ballpark that he is not all that familiar with. Yeah, get back Loretta to the fence and up, and he is out of the ballpark when he catches that ball. Out of the ballpark. Derek Bell, can he believe it? He knows it's gone, and he said, oh no. A huge play for the New York Yankees. Boy, there have been several in this game that you're going to put a star next to, and that's the biggest right there.
It is a 2-1 ball game. Edgardo Alfonzo up 2 down. Bell will be credited with the RBI, but he wanted 2. And Paul O'Neil denied him on a superb play in right field. The eyes tell the story. Alfonso takes it away, 1-1. Edgardo 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts in the game.
You think about this, these two clubs going over to Yankee Stadium tomorrow. Where would that ball have been in Yankee Stadium? No brainer. No brainer home run.
1-1 delivery. And Orlando Hernandez up high, 2-1.
Now you wonder how long Joe Torre is going to go with Hernandez. 2 outs in the inning, a triple, and a ball that was brought back from being a home run. The only reason he is doing this because the way Hernandez has pitched to Alfonso all night. And Alfonso, that's probably the best cut he's had right there, going to right field. There is no way that he's going to face Piazza.
The middle relievers, as we mentioned early, struggling for the Yankees. 3 new faces in the bullpen. Regular middle relievers having been used yesterday. 2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. 3-2. Piazza on deck. Everybody's standing, but for different reasons. 3-2. Hit in the air, right center. Bernie Williams will get over and haul it in. 1 run, 1 hit. Nobody left on, and Paul O'Neil, the only reason Bell's fly ball did not leave the yard. Sports, bigger, better baseball coverage brings the game to life. The new and improved Newsday Sports. Closed captioning brought to you in part by 1-800-MATTRESS and mattress.com, where the last S is for savings. John Franco in relief of Al Leiter.
Another superb job by Al Leiter. 8 very strong innings. He had one bad inning trying to get his feet on the ground in the very top of the first inning. And there was actually 2 different pitchers we saw, the Leiter in the first inning, and then the other 7. He was superb the last 7 innings. And as he has done most of the year, pitched extremely well. John Franco will come in and take it over, try to shut the Yankees down for 3 more outs and give the middle of that lineup another shot at the Yanks in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yankee fans applauding here as Paul O'Neil comes up, applauding that defensive play he made. Top of the 9th inning in game 1 of the 4 in the Subway Series this weekend. And a good one. 2-1. O'Neil in the game, 1 for 3, scored one of the 2 runs in the first inning on the RBIs by Williams and Jorge Posada. Batting .298 now. Franco did not face the Yankees in the first series and has faced them in only 1 game with no part of an inning pitched in his career. For New York's own John Franco. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Mets in the bottom of the 9th have Piazza, Ventura, and Zeal scheduled up. 1-1 delivery. O'Neil, shallow right center. Payton. 1 away in the 9th.
One of the things that would have been devastating for Joe Torre and the New York Yankees if Orlando Hernandez had not pitched late into the ball game. And this is something that managers are defending against in the sense of how many innings they have to play in the next 3 days. 9 today, 18 tomorrow, and then 9 more on Sunday. And if you can get in that bullpen and rattle around a little bit, well, you know that you do not have to defend against certain individuals coming out of that bullpen. It puts you at a distinct advantage. But both pitchers here tonight have done a good job for their managers, the way they can set up their bullpen for the next 2 days.
Bernie Williams, who extended his hit streak to 17 games in the first inning with an RBI single, 1 for 3. Leiter gave up the 2 runs on 4 hits in the first inning, and after that 2 singles. That was it. Mariano Rivera. Pitch misses outside. Williams, pretty good jig on that one as he danced around to stay away from the swing, and a 1-1 count. Been just a classic matchup. These 2 pitchers. Franco inside corner, 1-2. Both teams 5-3 in interleague play. One-two delivery. That just missed. Tried to go to the same spot again, a little more inside. Hasn't mattered for Williams, left to right. 318 off left-handers, 339 off right-handers for Bernie Williams. 2-2 delivery, and he fouls that one off to hold it. John Franco seemingly has gotten stronger here as the time has gone by in this season. More effective, maybe a better way to put it.
Also looks like he has a better fastball too than he did earlier.
It'll be real important for the Mets. We will use him sometimes as a closer, more often as a setup. 36th appearance. Grounded to third. Ventura, the backhand, on the money. 2 down in the 9th inning.
Well, if your arm starts hurting you, what do? Get rid of it quickly. You were talking earlier about Robin Ventura, who has had the soreness in that shoulder. Yes, it affects him when he's hitting and sometimes when he's throwing. And if you can't throw a bullet over to first base, and generally those third basemen have guns from third base, get rid of it quickly. Boom, put it in the air. Or that change up over there and say, hey, Mr. Zeal, make sure you catch it.
Smart player.
A lot like Paul O'Neil, that player right there.
That's right.
He is a foxhole player. Just like Todd Zeal at first base. Two guys you want to have on your ball club, both of them.
Jorge Posada, 2 down, a 1-0 count. There's Zeal. Quality players. You have to have them if you're going to be on a winning team. Posada, 1 for 3. Third. Again, Ventura hustles it. Got him. So here we go. Bottom of the 9th inning. Game 1 of the Subway Series. Bottom of the 9th inning. And a man who last year was unhittable. This year, a little more hittable. But he's going to the All-Star game again, and he can close them. Mariano Rivera.
45 saves last year, 18 this year. Maybe the best in the business. Oh, you got to have ice water in your veins, and what a confrontation with the first hitter. Mike Piazza, one of the best fastball hitters in baseball. And if you're the New York Yankees, you say, hey, thank God he's up there without anybody on.
Bottom of the 9th. And he takes the first pitch. 1-0.
That surprised me. I thought he'd be swinging. I thought he would be swinging.
Rivera looking for the save. He has 18. He is 18 out of 21 in saves. Piazza popped it up. Shallow right. O'Neil. 1 down. Piazza with an 0 for 4. Rivera last year was just untouchable, as he was second in save opportunities and first in saves last year with 45 out of 49. Last year, hitters could not touch him. Left-handers hit 143 and right-handers 219. World Series MVP. 1-0. Got the pop-up at the plate off Robin Ventura. Where is it? Jorge Posada. 2 down.
Jorge Posada was looking for help, and Rivera says, you've got it, big boy. Pitcher is the quarterback on that play and tells the defense who's going to take it. Right before that, Posada was looking for somebody. I don't think he knew where the ball was.
Stayed calm, made the play. 2 down, bottom of the 9th. Yankees up 2-1. Todd Zeal is 2 for 5 lifetime. Off Rivera. Strike on the outside corner. Probably the game's best cut fastball, Mariano Rivera. And it gets there in a hurry. Up the middle, almost took his head off. A base hit for Zeal and a comebacker. A shot that knocked Rivera down. And Zeal is on with 2 away in the 9th inning.
The first pitch, a fastball on the outside part of the plate, right on the corner, and this one right down the middle and right on the button by Todd Zeal. Not many times you see a pitcher get knocked off his feet, but that was right at his coconut right there. Wow.
We will get a pinch runner as Todd Zeal has delivered the 6th hit for the New York Mets in the ball game, and McEwing will run for him. Represents the potential tying run at first with 2 down. Zeal, couple of hits in the ball game, 2 for 3 and a walk. Jay Payton. Rivera, the overhand fastball misses. In the praying mode. Throw to first base. One 0 count. McEwing at first base. Rivera. High strike.
One of the problems of guessing a pitch, sometimes you'll chase a pitch out of the strike zone. That is unhittable above the top of the strike zone. Even as strong with the bat speed that Jay Payton has, that's a beautiful pitch. You're sitting on a pitch and you get it, your strike zone will grow.
Mariano Rivera, the 1-1 delivery. Inside corner. Payton looked as though he was leaning for a pitch away.
Dead red, no guess, just good heater. That's what you're going to get here.
Payton has had a hit in the last 14 games where he has had an at-bat. He has not had one here. 1-2 delivery. Down the right field line. It is towards the corner. It is a foul ball. Most sports are games of inches.
Boy, oh boy, the Mets have not had much luck offensively here tonight. When you look back over the scorecard, and this just by about a foot down that right field line. Remember the line drive up the middle that Hernandez caught, turned into a double play, and of course the big play of the ball game, the home run that O'Neil brought back. So the Mets have not gotten a break offensively all night yet.
1-2 count, 2 down. McEwing at first base. Yankees lead 2-1. Hauled in by Jorge Posada. That one was heading to the backstop. Rivera. 2-2 delivery. And it goes full. Agbayani on deck. Well, the Mets get the advantage in the count with 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and it's 3-2. That means the runner McEwing will be going. Torrey, Zimmer, Chris Chambliss, the coaching staff. All you can do is watch. They got the man out there they want. 3-2 runner goes. Right field. O'Neil over. Has room. Yankees win it. 2-1. Outstanding baseball game. Mets are now 9-11 in one-run games. The Yankees are 16-11. A tough loss, and Bell came this close. Half the glove length. Paul O'Neill's glove, to be exact. It would have been a homer, but O'Neil hauled it in and prevented Bell from getting a 2-run homer in the 8th inning. The Yankees 2, the Mets 1. Back to wrap it up after this. And as the winner, 8-6. Leiter, just his 2nd loss, and Rivera gets his 19th save.
And our GM turning point came in the 8th inning. Orlando Hernandez, a very strong 8 innings pitch. Melvin Mora, a triple to right center, and then this blast, and Paul O'Neil brought it back. Derek Bell robbed of a home run. It drove in a run, but that was the only run that the Mets would get if they lose it 2-1. What a play, Paul O'Neil.